drinks. I'll show you Shinjuku today as well, though I want to go out to shoot other street views in Tokyo. Actually, I went to video Ueno and around Asakusa, but I should come back to Shinjuku to do it again, because Shinjuku is such a big area that only a few clips cannot introduce even an overview on Shinjuku. No sooner had you turned to a street from Yasukuni-dori than you reached a Japanese shrine called Hanazono Jinjian, in front of which the golden array is located that consists of a lot of tiny bars. Nowadays foreigners have got to come here, most of them are tourists coming for just sightseeing, some of them actually drink here. However, as you can see, the tiny bar forces you to drink like guinea pig stuffed in a tiny cage drink. People come here to enjoy communications with bartender they know well or strangers and for a reasonable price of drink, which is not expensive but not cheap as well, just reasonable. So, it could not be a reason to come here to drink for foreigners, because you can find cheaper bars in other places of Shinjuku. However, there is much probability that you will be caught by pickup bars. I'm sorry for not coming to shoot here at night, but I don't like to drink so much that I go out of my way to drink outside. I introduced the other bars and restaurants placed in the west side of JR Shinjuku Station called Retrospection Array in the other clips, though those bars are less than bars here. I'll go to other places in Kabuki-cho, but I'm tired of explaining corresponding to the scenery of my footage, so I won't always remark about the pictures, but I'll talk randomly about what I want to say. Now I am riding a bicycle videoing with a GoPro suspended from my neck. I think it is a better way to shoot street views, because the speed to run by bicycle suits limited time that doesn't let viewers get bored. However, the bicycle limits the field of activity. Then I came to think that I want to get a motorbike license. But, there are annoying situations to get the motorbike license in Japan that the license is separated from the four-wheel car license. Actually there was an error that the license automatically added the four-wheel car license, but the more accidents happened, the more separation over the license came. For example, if you want to ride a Harley Davidson of which engine displacement is over 400 cubic centimeters, you should get the motorbike license which unlocks the limitation of the engine displacement. So at first you have to get the motorbike license which allows you ride the motorbike of 400 cubic centimeters and below, and you can get a right to get the license to ride a Harley Davidson. Actually, there is a way to get the motorbike license with non-limitation at a time, but it is too difficult to get it at only a time of skill test, so you should try again and again. That costs you too much totally, and you may come to think how many times you should try the test. Then, it is usual to go to the driving school which costs you around $1,000 for the license of 400 cubic centimeters, and costs $1,000 again for the license of over 400 cubic centimeters. I want to shout the NG word. Japan is a bigger island having a long sea line, moreover mountain chains are running on the center line of Japan. So, at first I want to run the coastlines by a motorbike, running winding roads in the next. You couldn't imagine how run the motorbike with engine replacement of 400 cubic centimeters and below, especially the eyes of the person who live in the country of bigger land like America or members of EU couldn't because of usualiness of bigger motorbike. If I get the license of until 400 cubic centimeters, I will ride the bike of around 250 cubic centimeters at first. I also can't imagine how the bike runs, so apart from the drivability, catalog says at least the bike run over 30 kilometers a liter of gasoline, which means you can go far away for low cost. Although I am cruising in Kabukicho, which is not impressive for me because I'm a person who is not interested in drinking or love affairs with intermediate money. But, there seems to be not a few people who want to change dark images of Kabukicho. Actually there is a cinema complex from which a big object of Godzilla comes out, and also common restaurants are there. I'll introduce you Shinjuku Nichome in near future, which is very famous for a lot of gay bars gather, though I will also cruise by a bicycle in daytime. Anyway, I think that gay bars in Nichome would be more enjoyable than here, because there are a lot of talkative gay bartenders would entertain you. However, it would be better for you to play act as a gay for cheaper price. There are many bars to offer three categories of price, which are for the non-gay, the gay and young gay. That is the most expensive, and the more latter the cheaper the price is. Of course, the prices depend on each bar. Anyway, as far as I know, one of the bars offers 2,500 yen for the first drink with some snacks, 2,000 yen, and 1,500 yen. By the way, I use trial version of Power Director as a movie editor, and it has passed for a month, which might mean the trial period expired, though I don't know exactly for my not reading of the contract well. Anyway, the trial version changed its water print written power director into 100% of opacity print. I like such irony. Anyway, a little bit later I'll buy a standard version, which is the cheapest one at $48 in several EC. The subscription version has too many functions for me. The person who makes videos about the Philippines uses the trial version for more a year, but the water print has not changed into the 100% opacity yet. I think he has been uninstalling and installing again every month to avoid the 100% opacity. What a crawfish he is. I don't want to let my subscribers think of me as the same. I'll get one for the next clip. We are about to leave Kabukicho, going for the west side of JR Shinjuku station. If you go on foot, it would be better to go on the underground passage with the shopping mall, because you can go shortcut and enjoy window shopping. But, if you do as I do, that is, riding on a bicycle, should go to the end of the station at first, going across the railway. Although this is the stuff that I often tell, there are a lot of buildings of Yodobashi Camera, which sells the gadget for reasonable prices, and which has been established already when I was a kid. The buildings of Yodobashi Camera which are located in other places are bigger, but those in this area are separated into small ones, which might mean their growth has been being promoted year by year, and mean landowners exist each, though I don't know exactly, and that is just my imagination. Now, the company can move to gather them into only a bigger building, but they may think those should be kept for a commemoration of his establishment. We are to enter Shinjuku-dori before going to the west. There are two main streets extended from the station as the street and Yasukuni-dori faced on Kabuki-cho. Not a few people are apt to lose their way. It had be better to confirm that your destination is located in which street. Shinjuku-Nico is located behind me, that is, going down this street brings you from the station to there. If you input the exit of the underground passage expanded from the station, you can prevent being stopped by signals until you go out of the ground near the place of your destination. Walking people and vehicles are not a lot as usual because of COVID-19. If you come here at midnight, you can feel odd, because neon signs are gorgeously blinking, of which the objective people are not there. You might wonder whom the neon signs are blinking to. Human beings should memorize the bad dream of COVID-19. I think that shooting streets of cities assists the memory. The JR Shinjuku station is used by more 3 million people a day. The number is the biggest of all stations in Japan, and the prepaid card called Suica is used by not only the users of the Shinjuku station but also any other station. Despite Suica managing a large amount of transactions a day, Suica has not made even an error yet. Visa or Master deals with a large amount of money in the world more than Suica, but Suica deals with a large amount transactions a day because of its good usability, which is able to be used to pay not only fare of the railways but also 7-Eleven, some of supermarkets, some of the vending machines and so on by just touching lightly and quickly. So, if you came to Japan, you should get a Suica. Although you should charge some money into Suica in advance as a prepaid card, in case you have to leave Japan immediately and you don't want to leave some money in Suica, you could ask a shop clerk to accept cash for the short after paying with all money in Suica. I restarted my YouTube channel several weeks ago. My subscribers have not increased since I came back to Japan from Savannakhe, Laos, in which I resided for about 7 years with my Laotian wife. But, my subscribers have increased little by little since I restarted it. That lets you see that if you uploaded new clips constantly, you could get subscribers constantly. However, the time subscribers watch my clips has not increased. This is a problem. As you may know, you should earn more time of 4,000 hours a year watching your clips, if you want advertisement on your YouTube channel. I think it may be more difficult to overcome the hurdle of 4,000 hours than getting 1,000 subscribers. There were not a few people who said that nobody watches your videos made by you as an amateur for longer than 3 minutes. I accepted such remarks, and actually I have been making videos shorter than 3 minutes in Savannakhe. But, facing the hurdle of 4,000 hours, clips shorter than 3 minutes can't earn the time, can it? You should make videos longer, right? Now, I got 670 subscribers, who earn 0.1% of the whole watching time. What an unbelievable fraction it is. That is to say, 99.9% of the watching time is earned by people who don't subscribe to my channel. What does it mean? I don't imagine anything at all. My subscribers might subscribe to my channel for the expectation of my subscription back. Anyway, I hope and expect that 1,000 subscribers will be achieved until the end of 2021. A problem must be the 4,000 hours as I explained, so I must use my brain to increase the watching time, but as I often say, my voice is synthesis but brain is a stupid Japanese who can't break through the problem. Now I have another problem, which my Laotian wife is angry with me, because she believes my affair, though it is definitely a false accusation. However, I have to give what little capital gain I earn from investment trust in the situation of de facto divorce. I have a plan to go to a cheaper country to live there with $1,000, which I want to earn from resources not depending on my living place. Now, I earn $300 from my blog and a little money from my office which I almost closed for semi-retirement, so I want only $300 through $400 from YouTube. Such money will make $1,000 as total. Then, if I will have been to a cheaper country, I will make videos for my channel as I did in Savannah K, and I believe the videos will earn more money, because I have experienced it in Savannah K already, and there are not a few people who want to escape from their countries for some reasons and want to know how to live in a cheaper country. We came to the west side. Yodobashi Camera is to be seen soon. It was a long way which needed a longer span of footage giving me a hard time. Imagine I am not a native speaker in English, the longer a footage gets, the more work increases as I should translate for Talking David of which voice is synthesis. The fact that my subscribers are apt not to see my new clips let me feel easy, so I could suddenly change the language into Japanese. Why I began to make videos in English is that I made videos themed Savannah K, Laos, and thought of the theme as not Chachi to Japanese but to the world, so I decided to use English. However, there weren't a few people who said that my spoken English was like how a drunk speaks or not understandable. So, I got to use the synthesis voice as David. Business zone in which skyscrapers are built lies in this west area, and restaurants serving lunch for businessmen came together, however there are not more than the east area. Tokyo government office buildings are also located on this side, of which upper floors are open to citizens for nothing. Even if you are not a citizen, you can go there to enjoy sightseeing from the upper floor. The Skytree located at Oshiage, which is built as the second Tokyo tower to project radio waves, costs $10 for a cheaper ticket to ascend to 450m of top deck. Seeing this rotary in your right, turning to the left let you enter the area of Yodobashi Cameras, of which buildings are separated with items sold each place. Although the company began to sell cameras and films and its options, nowadays they sell any gadgets and even figures coming from animations. A lot of toy vending machines are the scene being used to be seen not only here but also Akihabara. The toy vending machines are also seen in Narita Airport, which is vacuuming coins travelers have not used before getting to the airport. Some are explaining that there comes the third wave of the toy vending machines boom in Japan, though I don't feel so. When I was a kid, toy vending machines offered two costs, the one cost only 10 yen, the other 100 yen, which was something in the adult world from a kid's point of view. There was the lighter of the imitation of Zippo as I remembered, and a radio control car which was bigger than a capsule, so a voucher was put in the capsule. When I was 10 years old, a friend of mine wanted the radio control car, wearing $500 into the vending machine until its voucher came out, but the radio control car was a crap which can be controlled only to stop, go, and turn right. The previous clips were apt to be added with BGM free of right in order to stuff BGM into the blanks of sound, because the job of adding narrations into the blank is difficult for me. But, Talking David is to finish, not to ask even a second of BGM for blank from start to end. Although a problem could arise because some people would think of it as too noisy, this is my style of making videos which I want to continue for the time being. As I mentioned in the middle of this clip, I want 1,000 subscribers ASAP. If you appreciate Talking of David, subscribe please. Your good grade over my clips would back me up to go abroad to report about living in foreign countries as much as I did in Savannah K, Laos. I appreciate your subscription. It has already been 15 minutes, I forgot what I said in the beginning of this clip because of my 55-year-old brain. I might have said the same thing again and again. I said about the motorbike, the water print of Power Director, my lost money for my skeptical wife. Anyway, the next clip is planned to be on scene in Shinjuku and Ichome, which may be famous as gay town even for foreign travelers. I'm sorry but you don't expect much, because I won't go to shoot at night, because I'm not interested in drinking out, and I don't want to pay for non-gay price more expense than that for gay. By the way, the bars that gays manage are now closed by 20 o'clock as Japanese government asks for COVID-19.